It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Oil Stream. Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola with you. No better way in the middle of the summer to celebrate a nice little lunch than with Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. They've got the blackened deluxe chicken sandwich. It's on the menu, and you simply can't go wrong. Tommy, what's happening, buddy?
Not much. I will say this about our good friends at Popeye's. They're so good, they've got my dad hooked.
What?
Yeah, Reno loves it. He loves it. He's like, they've got a Popeye's. He told me that they're opening one by my place. I went there. It was outstanding. You guys were right. I was like, we wouldn't lie to you, Dad.
Of course we were right. I mean, what's he talking about? He doubted us? Come on, man.
He doubts everything.
You're absolutely killing us.
Natural instinct is to doubt first.
Yeah.
And then slowly, let it chip away in his mind until he experiences. And he's like, you know what? That's really good.
Absolutely unbelievable, your dad. That just drives me nuts. Me nuts. I got to get to the airport a little bit later on here this afternoon, so we won't have a super long episode of the Oil Stream for today, but we had a bunch of questions that rolled in a little bit earlier on. We'll get to that. Tommy, you're heading out of town, this weekend? You're taking off?
Sunday, I take off a couple of weeks, one in Coeur d'Alene and then another in Phoenix, and it's going to be absolutely scorching in Phoenix. So I can't wait just to get away, and then it's going to be a very busy month in August for all of us.
Yeah, lots going on there, obviously. So that'll be good. We will have a Boston Pizza live on Tuesday. That's coming up next Tuesday at the Boston Pizza in Beaumont, and you can't make that one, but Gager's gonna roll in. So we're gonna have Gager with us on Tuesday at Boston Pizza in Beaumont. It'll be a 6:00 start for a live episode of the Oil Stream, so you can join us for that one. That'll be Tuesday at 6:00 at the Beaumont Boston Pizza, which ended up being actually pretty good. I'm looking forward to that. So that should be a pretty good time. So make sure you join us for that. Mark it on your calendar. Tuesday, you can pop by and see a Gager and myself. Tommy, let's start with that Boston Pizza appetizer. Are you hearing anything on the Oilers RFAs right now?
Yeah, it's pretty quiet, and don't expect things to get too exciting over the next couple of weeks, but the last time I checked in, which was this morning, the expectation as of right now is for the Bouchard and McLeod situations to go the distance, and the guys in their camps to wait it out. That's just a strategy thing from them, and whether or not the Oilers and those two respective players and their agents to get things done before, we shall see, but that is not the expectation as of right now in mid-July.
All right, so nothing really surprising there, but things kind of going the way that we expected them to go anyway. Are they dabbling in anything else right now? Is there anything else that could possibly be coming down the pipe?
Yeah, best thing to say about that is they've thrown out some feelers to some UFAs, and those feelers, those UFAs and those feelers, the UFAs are looking for better opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah.
And then maybe they circle back to the Oilers. And then I followed up by saying, are those potential UFAs any sexier than Kajula and Lane Peterson? And the answer I got was not really.
No. Okay. Yeah. So what they've done is they've gone out to more Peterson and Kajula types and said, here's minimum money. If you're interested, we would be willing to do this. Go see what else is going on, I guess. So
you summed it up so nicely.
Yeah, so nothing major going on that front as well. But a quick little update there for obviously our partners at Boston Pizza. Patio is open. Summer menu is absolutely delicious. We had somebody out in BC. Can't remember who it was on Twitter, but he tried the juicy beef rolls, as I'm calling them. And they said they were absolutely delicious.
They are.
So that was nice. Advertising works even in British Columbia. So that's good to know. I do like seeing that. Tommy, I did say we get to a bunch of questions today, and we do have a few of them. This is an interesting conversation that we'll probably continue to have through a decent chunk of the season. But Jason asks, who replaces the toughness lost by Klim Kostin moving on?
As of right now, by committee.
Yeah, or nobody. That's another way to put it, really.
Yeah, that's a nice way to say nobody. It's going to have to be Evander Kane, Darnell Nurse, Vinny Desharnais,
I mean,
that type of thing.
can I throw an idea by you? And
Sure.
this isn't his game. Not that he shies away from stuff, but I'd sure like if Fogle kind of took the physical aspect of his game to another level. Like look at the bottom six if you're Warren Fogle and go, man, might not be my bag, baby, but drop the mitts a couple of times, standing up for a teammate or something along those lines. I think the window's there for somebody to emerge as that guy, and Fogle's got the size and grittiness to do it.
I respect the hell out of that, and I appreciate that thought. But knowing Warren Fogle and getting to know him over the last couple of years and watching him
Just
play,
not the
do
thing.
not expect that at all.
Yeah.
At
That's
all.
a missed opportunity for him, though.
I
Like,
don't think it's in his
el-
nature.
I
Like,
know,
it
but who
really
else?
isn't.
I know, but sometimes I'd be like, step outside of your safe zone. Like, who else is going to do it? Derek Ryan, Ryan McLeod? No chance. Like, they
No.
don't really have anybody in their bottom six that would even come remotely close to that.
I'll bring it back to the BP Appetizer. Maybe one of those UFAs that the Oilers had discussions with and put out feelers to. Maybe there is an element of toughness to one of them. I wasn't given names. I wasn't given indicators as to what type of players. I was just, when I threw out are they in the same vein as Kajula and Peterson? I was told yes. So maybe one of those is a tougher, bigger body guy. But as of right now, it's by committee, and I do not see Warren Fogle turning into that type of player.
Step
Although
up,
I
Fogle.
like the idea
Step
of
up,
it.
Fogle. Like,
God!
I mean, if you think about it, among forwards, I mean, Evander Kane, obviously, but the last thing you want is Evander Kane punching somebody in the face and effing up his hand, for lack of a better term, or something along those lines, right? So, right now, I mean, I'll just say it. Right now, the Oilers' bottom six is butter soft. It just is. I mean,
yep.
I think you have to change that in some way, shape, or form. But we'll see. Although I did watch Lane Peterson fight a few guys on YouTube the other day. I don't know if you've been sucked down a Lane Peterson fight YouTube hole like I have this summer. But who did he fight? He fought one guy in Boston. It was horrible because Jack Edwards was calling it. It was like a one punch and Peterson went down. So Edwards was like, I can't remember who it was. It wasn't like a heavy by any stretch of imagination, but. Yes, it was. Yes, that's right. Frederick. Yeah. So he, it didn't go well, but maybe Peterson looks and goes, all right, I'll be the dick in the bottom six. Like, every good bottom six needs a dick. That's how I've always kind of viewed it, right? At least one dick in the bottom six. That's
what she said. Does that fit there?
I don't think that works.
I don't know.
Whatever. You could try. All right, let's get to these are interesting questions. I'll tie both of these together. Well, no, let's keep them separate. Mark asks, would Nolan Patrick be someone the Oilers might look at for depth if health permits?
You want to add to the butter soft narrative and can't stay healthy. And I feel bad for him because I believe it was concussions and
could have been a great career, but I don't think you touch that.
I don't think so, but I understand the thought process there for sure.
This one, I mean, just don't see it happening. But John Muckler's Spectacles on Twitter says, Galchenyuk and Oiler, the team loves a good reclamation project.
We went down that road last year with Virtanen, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about the Virtanen era.
And listen, different circumstances, but both, publicly awful. And I know Virtanen's situation, in the courts got cleared up, but good on Alex Galchenyuk for
the statement or whatever. But
for the NHL's program, and then Laddie Schmid actually had a thread of tweets. Where he sought some help, and I'm glad to hear that. And he had a scary situation, so just
get help when you need it, so you don't look like a clown and come across as a huge asshole. You know what I mean? So
and so that's a nice way of saying no to the question.
I would. Thanks for the question, but. Probably not. Here's another one from Hockey Junkie 97. If you could get Matt Dumba on a 1-year, $3 million deal, would you trade Kulak to help make the money work? Broberg would be your lock for 3 LD. Would also help lower Bouchard's cap hit if Dumba eats up some of his minutes and then points in the process, Tommy. I think we've thrown this around. I don't know if we've thrown it around on the actual podcast, the two guys and the goalie, but I know Cass has thrown it. Cass, have we talked about it here? Yeah. Okay. And then Cass brought it up in our two guys just group chat like a month ago about Dumba if you could make it work. Once again, it's getting overly creative for sure to try to make something like this work. I guess what I would say, Tom, is I like Kulak. I think Kulak's just excellent where he is, you know. So I don't know if I want to move Kulak. If you can fit Dumba in some other way, I'm not. This is not an anti-Dumba take, but it's a pro. I like Kulak where he is take.
The left side for the Oilers on the blue line is rock solid. It really is, and that's unfortunate for Philip Broberg, and he's going to have to prove himself early on when he gets his opportunities. I think right now he's slotted in as the seventh defenseman. Maybe he battles Vinny Desharnais for that third spot on the right side, but I don't see that happening. I thought that there was more of a chance for that to happen prior to Ekholm, and then all of that being sorted out. There was some Dumba talk because I think him in the Wild, he got healthy scratched at one point last season. And I was like, yeah, I like that idea. But at this point for the Oilers, I don't think that's a fit. I don't think you want to rock the boat. Like you said, Dusty, with the way Kulak is slotted in, he's a good fit. And I don't think that that's something that they won't even consider, even though I like Matt Dumba. Like when he is on, he's physical, he's offensive, he could be really, really good. And I don't know what the situation is with him in Minnesota. It seems to be, fraying their relationship or whatever, but I just don't see it's a real possibility here in Edmonton. And not to say I don't like the player, but yeah, you're right. You're getting really creative if that's what you're trying to do. And then I think you also bring question marks into the Oilers on the left side on the blue line if you were to go down that road and try to do something like that, because it's pretty rock solid right now.
Let's tie this a little bit into inside the numbers for CoolBet Canada. Stay cool. Bet responsibly with CoolBet. They do have odds up for Stanley Cup right now. By the way, the Edmonton Oilers' second best odds to win the Cup at CoolBet right now. Colorado Avalanche at number 1 at like plus 885. The Oilers at 10-1, the second best odds. So if you like the Oilers right now to win the Cup, you want to get them at 10-1, you can slide on over. If they have a great start to the year, obviously that number is going to get down. So I don't see it getting much higher than it is right now. So if you want them at 10-1, you can get that right now at CoolBet. But let's tie this into Broberg, and the discussion around Broberg would move in as 3 LD if you keep Kulak. Tommy, over or under 60 games played for Broberg this upcoming season?
As an Edmonton Oiler,
yeah,
under, and that has to do with a couple of things that come to mind right away. If the blue line stays healthy.
Health for sure really makes it a difficult number to get to.
And he has to stay healthy too.
Yeah, true.
When he does get in. And then the other thing is if it doesn't go his way, quote unquote, I think he could be on the block. So I would go with under.
As per his request, maybe?
I think so.
Like almost like a parting for both sides.
Yeah, we're coming up on 6 years or 5 years in the
5. Yeah, like that's you kind of got to be an NHL defenseman 5 years in, I think.
And he kind of is, but not where you expected him to be when he was drafted, I suppose.
I guess to me, and I don't know how Oilers fans would view this or how you would view it, I haven't seen enough of him to know, right? Like, I don't think anybody's really, truly seen enough to come to a conclusion. Let me bring up his numbers.
He was good. Dusty, he was good to finish 21-22, and then 22-23, it was him and Bouchard together, and both of those guys had really rough nights, sometimes both of them, sometimes just one of them.
But this is a guy who's played 69 career games.
Yeah.
Like, it's so tough to know, even if he was to play 60 this year, he's played 130 career games. Do you really know what that defenseman is one way or the other? That's a tough call to make. Don't people say it's like 400 games for a defenseman?
300, 400, some people said, and then some are now saying 200. But I think the way to describe Broberg is a victim of circumstance, right? Like, I know he's working to get into the lineup on a regular basis. He's trying to experience and learn things. And unfortunately, it has to be the hard way from time to time on the ice in game situations. But I think a victim of circumstance is a appropriate way to describe Philip Broberg as an Edmonton Oiler right now.
Yeah. Well, it almost ties in nicely to trading for Ekholm could have been the best thing that happened to Broberg, but it could also be the worst thing that happened to Broberg, right? Like if he could be in the lineup and learn from Ekholm and maybe play with him, it'd be great. But Ekholm's acquisition is the one that's keeping him out of the lineup right now. So,
and maybe it's a blessing in disguise, because at some point, if it comes to this, they move on from him. He goes and gets a fresh start elsewhere, a place that sees him in a more marquee role, and he gets to take off in his career. And unfortunately, if that were to happen, it's not here in Edmonton. So maybe it's a bittersweet double-edged sword. That's a good way to describe it.
Well, it'll be a guy that's talked about a lot, obviously, heading into the season. And who knows, maybe it comes in and looks freaking awesome and they have to play him and you're rotating Kulak in because he's a veteran or something along those lines. So lots of things that could still happen with Broberg, but that was one of the questions that kind of came from that Dumba question. So like I said, short episode of the Oil Stream today. Friday will be a travel day for me, Tommy, but outside of my flight, I don't have much else going on. So we'll bang out an episode of Oil Stream on Friday as well, whether it be in Winnipeg in the morning or Vancouver later in the afternoon. So yeah, maybe by then they've continued to do absolutely nothing.
Quite likely. And I think we'll have video, because you're not staying in Regina, where we tried to.
No, Regina is just, remind you, I think we had some Twitter troubles with this one today, but yeah. I mean, Regina's got to upgrade the internet. It's 2023, man. Like, what are we doing? It's insane. So, what is happening? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. All right, Tommy, get us out of here, buddy, and I'll talk to you in a couple days.
Fantastic. Travel safely, my friend, and you're going to be great this weekend on the CFL at TSN. And with that being said, thank you for the questions. As always, tune in Friday. Like, share, subscribe, YouTube. We're, hint, hint. We're really pumping that up, and we'll talk to you on Friday. Smash that thumbs up button. Ciao for now.